That's what I do.
Whose teenage son was that? Huh? I want to hear from him. Y'all track him down. I want to get him on the show. I want to hear his side of the story because I don't believe her. Keep listening, man. This is too much. Y'all doing too much out there, Karen.
I feel so powerless, and I feel like all I can do is post, and hopefully we'll
Oh my
get to
God.
someone. ICE raids have started in Los
California liberal.
Angeles. Do your research about
Notice how the California liberals and the Boston liberals, they have the same mannerism, slightly different accent. Oh my God. Let's keep listening.
it. I just found out about it. It was posted like an hour ago. So like even if this gets to one person, like just watch out for yourself and your
Somebody
loved ones.
said mayonnaise.
There are many
ready.
websites that you can go to that have information.
Yeah.
Remember to look up about your rights. I know that it's like harder to find now that the fucking U.S. Constitution can't even be found.
Language.
TikTok like doesn't let me change the link, which it is still a GoFundMe for a family that needs help from the fires, but I can't figure out how to add more than one link. It always is just like try again later, service issue. So but I try to repost as much as I can. Look, but it's also like the TikTok search.
What are you talking about?
I heard that they're gonna be there for the next like 7 days. I don't know. I haven't done enough research to like know like where that came from or how accurate that is.
I can't do it no more.
I'm just trying to post about it as soon as possible, like spread the word. I don't know. I like literally don't know how to express how sorry I am for people because like even if you're not directly affected, like I can't imagine like the mental and emotional turmoil that this is having for it's just like it's so insane. So please let me know if there is a better way.
You're not a victim
For me to be like getting the word out there again. Like I can't.
Anyway, yeah, quiet. I can't take no more of that. Look, man. Trump announced these massive deportation raids, right? And what I notice is a lot of the responses from these. First of all, you know, I mean, my man says it all. This guy right here. This is the first thing I know.
All of them? We gotta let them all go?
Yeah.
Man, who's gonna pick all my cotton and who's gonna pick all my food?
Yeah.
He's gonna get all of them?
Yeah.
He's gonna round them all up. That's great. Who's gonna wash my car, mow my yard, take care of my kids, pick all my food? Fucking Trumpers.
Right. So, you know, as I said, what I found is the common link from these liberal types is not necessarily that they empathize with the folks being sent home, but they're like, hey, who's going to perform our labor? And that's why I entitled this Taking My Servants. And it is very tone deaf. And, you know, again, these are the well-meaning liberals that our great leaders would talk about, whether we're talking about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Thurgood Marshall, Marcus Garvey. They all had something to say about these folks. Now, here's the thing. First of all, let's just say this. There's a problematic tendency to blame cities with large undocumented immigrant populations as though that's inherently tied to crime and societal decline. And this narrative is not only racist, but it dismisses the real systematic issues at play. I guess I would say it assumes that people in these cities are monolithic, you know, and instead of recognizing that them as individual folks with lives and contributions to their communities. And this approach vilifies entire groups without even addressing the root causes of a broken immigration system, number one. Now, what I've heard, and this is the one that I find irritating, if we deport all documented workers, who will take our agricultural jobs? Who's gonna, you know, milk our cows? Huh? Who's going to get our eggs to market? Who's gonna pick our fruit? And you know, just how does that sound to you? Huh? How does it sound to you? It sounds like they're more concerned with, you know, who's going to do this cheap labor than anything else. You see what I mean? I mean, I want you to just think about that, man. Think about the embedded tone deaf insensitivity of that. Shout out to my man TIQS. She's mumble rapping like Offset and Quavo. did you think about that, man? Just think about that. And as I think about it, framing immigrants solely as laborers, as if their worth is tied to their economic utility, it dehumanizes them, and it reduces their humanity to their productivity. That's like reducing a woman to her ability to please you in bed. It's like reducing someone to their ability to cook. You don't see them as a human, you just see them for their productivity, and ignores the fact that American policies and industries have long relied on exploiting cheap immigrant labor, and before that, slave labor. And it denied basic human rights and even pathways to citizenship on purpose. And instead of challenging why Americans avoid the jobs, this argument, what it does is perpetuate the stereotypes about lazy Americans versus hardworking immigrants. You understand what I'm saying? And the narrative also overlooks the fundamental truth that American policies and industries have long profited from the exploitation of cheap immigrant labor. That's what we do, okay? Particularly in labor, in labor-intensive jobs, especially low-skill labor-intensive jobs. We brought the Irish over here. We brought the Chinese over here. We brought Black people from Africa over here to do it. This is what we do. And so for decades, the U.S. agricultural sector has relied on immigrant workers, many of whom are undocumented, to sustain its operation. You heard what the fella said earlier. The government knows what I'm doing. It's an open secret. Type open secret in the chat room. It is an open secret. Okay? And these workers, they placed in dangerous situations. They receive low wages. They're denied basic labor protections and pathways to legal citizenship on purpose. You see? Rather than acknowledge this systematic exploitation that keeps our eggs cheap, all right? Right? Their argument focused solely on the idea that Americans would somehow be incapable of doing this work. It never examines why industries have been allowed to continue relying on cheap and vulnerable labor, or why the structural changes haven't been made to address these disparities in wages and work conditions. And here's another thing. The way these people frame this into a trap of perpetuating harmful stereotypes, and particularly the idea of lazy Americans. We're hardworking people, okay? But they're saying we're lazy Americans and we refuse to do the hard work, while immigrants are portrayed as our hardworking counterpart. And the narrative, what it does in essence is it pits groups of people together against each other, immigrants versus Americans. And the truth is most immigrants, other than African Americans and Native Americans, most Americans are immigrants. Okay. Here's the thing. The way they frame it, it doesn't ask why certain jobs are seen as undesirable by many Americans, and it doesn't challenge the industries that pay low wages to make the jobs more attractive. Instead, it blames a vulnerable population, and it creates this false dichotomy where immigrants are seen only as tools of economic labor, okay? And American workers are unfairly painted as unwilling and incapable. That's the same thing Ramaswamy did, called us stupid. That's why they got rid of him. And but nevertheless, this perspective, it fails to address the broader issues within the immigration system. Rather than considering immigrants' rights to citizenship or legal protection, it treats them as disposable workers.
DennisSpurling, got the mic on fire.
Black father, I have black son.
Tune in, weekly feeling inspired. From the heart, real talk ignite. Every episode brings the light. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's family. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins, enjoy the ride. Come say hi, catch the wave, don't pass by. Let this spirit's always inside. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know
Hey man, I do what I do.
You know that.
Your ass, class, don't come over here. You tall black mother. Women up inside. I don't give a fuck about